welcome to my journey. Today we're going to talk about being frugal. Now, I had to run some errands this morning. Oh, let me tell you this before I go on. When I come in, I had run the errands, and I come back in. I told David, I said, I'm going to make me a video. And he said, well, when you get situated, I was changing clothes or whatever. He said, come here, I want to talk to you. I'm like, oh my God. What? He said, Holly called and said the garden is looking good. Said all the beans and the okras popping up. You can just see little sprouts of the corn coming up. She said it's all looking good. The one thing we're having to replace is some cucumbers, and that's where I went today. So we might be having a garden after all. Oh, I'm so excited. I don't want to jinx it. But a garden is frugal. If you're going to, like, preserve your food, even if you have a small garden, to just feed you what you need to eat and not preserve it, that's still frugal. So I'm excited. That's going to help a lot on my frugal lifestyle that I am venturing into. But the book I bought at the library, Frugal Isn't Cheap, that's what made me think about, let's talk about this, because being frugal doesn't mean that you're cheap or that you're a cheapskate. Frugal means just getting the most value for your money, making your money stretch as good as you can stretch it and still live a life that you're comfortable with. Now, being frugal doesn't mean you have to live like a monk, because like me and David, we're frugal in all these places, but then on Saturday morning, we like our biscuit. And if you're going to go out and eat, breakfast is probably your cheapest bet, So we're not cheap to the point to where we're gonna separate plies of toilet paper. We're not that cheap. We are trying to cut back, cut down, watch where the money's going, watch how we spend it, watch how we save it, just to get the most out of what we have. And that is being frugal. So if you want to be cheap and a cheapskate, to go the cheapest route of every single thing you do, then that's you. You do you. Be a cheapskate and be proud of it. That matter of fact, that's one of these topics here, is you have to be secure with who you are, especially in your frugal journey of living the way you live. If you're not secure in that, you're going to fall victim to keeping up with the Joneses, and that is going to get you in a lot of financial trouble. Y'all know that I am secure in who I am as far as how I look, how I dress. These things, listen, I wear these tank tops and my back flaps just fly. I don't care. But I'm comfortable living the way I live, to the point to where I'm not wanting to keep up with the Joneses. Now, yes, there are times when I'm like, golly, I wish I could have that. I wish I could do like that. How did they shop like that? How did they buy groceries like that? Where did they get their money from? How do they live in that house? I think these things. I'm normal. I'm human. But I don't let it affect me to the point to where I'm ashamed to be frugal. I mean, I'm in front of all y'all telling y'all, I'm washing baggies. Here, listen, look at this shirt. This is let me take a sip of coffee. This shirt is a case in point of how secure I am in my journey of who I am. I have not tried to keep up with the Joneses, as in other YouTubers. Nobody specific that I'm thinking of, honest to goodness, not anybody that's put together, that, they're got their makeup on and their hair did and their nails did and nice clothes and, some jewelry and all that. I'm not that person. But I don't let that make me to try to be different. So like this shirt, I've been wearing the same, bless y'all's hearts, y'all have seen me dress the same. It's like a uniform. These clothes I've had so long, they're kind of like my uniform. I bet I've worn them 4 or 5 years, however long I've been on YouTube. That's how long I've been wearing them. No joke. Y'all know it. If you've been here from the beginning, you know it. You see the same. I I think 5 of these print shirts, and you see the same ones over and over. And I'll stick a solid one in every now and then. Now the solid one, these I wear out because they're still good shirts. They have held their color, their shape, everything for these 4 or 5 years. I'm not getting rid of them. I've added some things to my wardrobe. Like, I wear shirts, different shirts when I go to the doctor or have appointments and stuff. I wear different things then. And sometimes if I film, you'll get to see me in something different. It's funny. I never fail to get a compliment when I wear a regular shirt. Maybe those people don't like seeing me in these tank tops. But I'm secure enough to let y'all see me all these years in these same clothes and not fall victim to, oh my gosh, I've got to look like that person on that YouTube channel. No, I don't. I got to look like me on this YouTube channel. This hair, these clothes, these nails, no makeup. This is me. This is who I am, and I'm fine with who I am. I'm perfectly fine being who I am. So I am perfectly fine with the frugal lifestyle that I'm choosing to live. And you know why it's so easy? Because I've been there so many times. This is not my first rodeo, y'all. I've had some times where I've had to be a cheapskate and just go the cheapest route of whatever to go the cheapest route because I had to. I didn't have a choice. I've had lean times in my life. So I know how to work these things. Now, talking about the Joneses, when it was especially with Holly, I think because we started having, I don't know if it's because as a girl you shop more with a boy than with a boy and buy clothes and stuff more so. I don't know. But it seems like this lesson was more a Holly lesson than an RJ lesson. And she'll do it to this day. I'll do it to this day. If we're looking, let's just say shoes, okay? So brand A shoes are $50. Brand B shoes are $15. Are you going to get $35 worth of enjoyment or use or sturdiness or whatever you can think of out of the brand A shoes than you are the brand B shoes? If you're not, then don't pay for it. Don't become a slave to brand names. Now, you can find brand names at the thrift store, and when you find them for a cheap price, you're like, score, because not that you're necessarily looking to have that. Some people are, and that's fine. I mean, that's fine. And if you want to spend your money on brands, I'm not telling you not to. I'm just telling you, when you're frugal, these are some things that you do. You try to think, is this worth that many dollars more than this that is the equivalent? It just doesn't have that brand tag on it. If you think it is, then go ahead and buy the brand name. But if you don't, which we 9 times out of 10, we don't. We will, for the big things like appliances or whatever, we'll investigate. We won't go the cheapest route, but we won't go the most expensive route. We will go the route that, like the beginning, that we think we get more value for our money. That's the route we take. So that's being frugal. But just on everyday things, like a shirt at the thrift store at Goodwill, they're $4.99. If you go to Walmart's and buy a shirt for $20, $25, I don't know how much new shirts are going for because I don't buy them. Well, that $5 shirt at Goodwill is that, we'll just say 20. That $20 shirt at Walmart's, is it $15 more worth it? Or would you be just as satisfied with a $5 shirt from Goodwill? I am just as satisfied with the Goodwill shirts, and that's what I got in my closet in there. Goodwill and VB shirts. Ain't no new shirts in that closet. You come to my house right now, we'll go to my closet. You won't find one single new shirt. They're all thrifted. These are the only shirts I have that I bought new. What did I tell you? 4 or 5 years ago. Okay, so being frugal is a state of mind. You're always thinking about where you're putting your money, how you're spending your money, how are you saving your money. It is something that stays in the back of your mind. And if you do the little things like wash out the baggies, you're not saving tons of money. You're not going to pay a mortgage down by washing out baggies. What you're going to do is you're going to stay in that frame of mind of being frugal. And if you are diligent over the small things, the chance is when the big thing comes up, you're going to be diligent over that because you're already used to it. You're already watching the little things, and if those are important to you, surely the big things, houses, cars, furniture, appliances, those type things, they're going to be important to you. Listen, talking about keeping up with the Joneses, like my car is a 2011, and I love it. I will drive it until I can't drive it. Would I like to have one of them fancy cars with the screen on it and the touching and all that pretty? Wouldn't that be nice? But guess what? I'm a Jonesing for it. I'm just putting that together. Jonesing for something. Is that keeping up with the Joneses? Is that where that come from? Why has that never struck me as that? I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses telling David, I think you need to buy me a new car. No, I like my car. I love my car. I'll put it that much. I do. I love my car. So there's another place that you might want to try to keep up with the Joneses. But you don't have to, because if you got a car that gets you from point A to point B safely and securely, that's all you need. Let's see. Okay, here's one. Just because you can buy something does not necessarily mean you should buy something, right? You can afford to eat out 2 or 3 times a week, but that don't mean you should, because think about the money you would save cooking, let's just say one meal. If you just stop eating out one meal of the 3 and cook at home, the money you saved on that meal could go towards, gosh, a vacation, the mortgage, a car, college tuition, something you need or something you want, which needs and wants are 2 different things. I think we know that. We don't need as much as we think we do to survive in this life. There's very little we need. The rest are creature comforts. But if you just cut out one little thing and do it at home, just think about it. So you might can afford those 3 nights out at eating, but you don't need to. That don't mean you should. Start, and that's another point on here. Start small. Don't just dive in head first on every single thing, because it's just like on the diet, and I have been guilty of that in the past. Putting too much on my expectation list and getting overwhelmed and quitting. Just giving up. Like, well, I'm not doing none of it because I can't do it all. Well, I'm overwhelmed. I'm not going to do any of it. So start small with your frugal journey. Start by washing out baggies. Devise you a plan to hang them up. I got a tension curtain rod in between my 2 cabinets because that's where my sink is, and there's a window there, and I put some zip ties with the little tail sticking down, and I clip them on there with a clothespin. They make bottle racks. Somebody was telling me they use a baby bottle rack and stick them up on there. I've seen some people talk about putting chopsticks in cups or whatever in their drain board and drain them all that. Drain them over a cup. Just wherever you can find somewhere to drain them. Just start by washing out baggies. Like I said, you're not going to save the world by washing out baggies. Well, as far as a green standpoint, you're helping save it, I guess. But you're not going to save your Like, you're not going to pay off your mortgage watching that baggies, but it puts you in that frame of mind. So start there, and then you can start by maybe investing in something to hang up your clothes. Like I got that today. You'll see it in my grocery haul tomorrow. Get a clothes rack. FedEx. I wish they was bringing me something. I'm gonna quit talking a minute. Let them go down the road. He's loud. I don't even know what he's talking about. Oh, starting small. Start by, okay, you've washed your baggies. Now, cut out a Starbucks drink. You get 2, 3, 4 a week. Just cut out one and make your coffee at home. If you have to have flavored coffee, buy some syrups. If you have to have, I don't know, whatever you get at Starbucks, but just do without it one day and watch that, how much ever it costs, 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't know what you get, but those things add up. Let's just say 5, which is probably just the plain old black coffee with some cream in it. I bet you it's $5. So let's just say $5. They're most likely going to be more. $5 a week for 52 weeks is $260. $260. Think what you can do with that. That would be an electricity bill plus a water bill, maybe. I don't know. It could be Christmas money. It could be school clothes money. Just think if you do that. If you cut out something, let's say you cut out $10 a week, something that you spend money on, cut it out $10 a week. That's $520 a year. If you took that $10 and put it back into let's just say a Christmas savings club, which I don't even know if they do them anymore at banks, but it's just a little savings account. Come Christmas, you got $500 that you don't have to pull out of thin air. Or come school time, you got money for school clothes. Now, I know a lot of you don't have school-age children because you're my age or older, but we do have grandchildren, and we help our grandchildren. So maybe you don't have to worry about pulling that school money out of thin air because you cut away something that you really don't need. You don't need 3 or 4 Starbucks drinks a week, and I'm not picking on Starbucks people. That's just a very simple example to use of Starbucks is I think luxury. It's not a necessity, and I don't think anybody would disagree with that. I think everybody would agree with me. Starbucks is a luxury. So that's why it's such an easy example to use. Let's see. Not everything is a deal if it's more than you would pay for it. I told you, if I write something, was I going to know today what I meant? I think the deal if it's still more than you pay, even if it's less than before. Okay, so I think what I'm trying to say is, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Not everything is the deal if it's still more than you pay, even if it's less than before. I honest to goodness don't know what I meant by that, but really everything ain't a deal. And I'll tell you about this part of it not being a deal. It's not a deal if you're not going to use it. That's not a deal. So when I go to BJ's, I see stuff that's a bargain, and I know it's a bargain from the regular grocery store, and I'm like, I'd be wasting my money if I bought it because we don't use it. That's not something we use, and it would just sit here and go to the bad or never get touched. And so there I have wasted, let's say $10. That's $10 down the tube that's just sitting here. So it's not a deal if you're not going to use it. And it's not a deal if you can't use it all before it goes bad. Let's say a giant bag of apples that's on a super good deal, and you're like, oh my gosh, that is a good deal. Well, if you're not going to eat them all, or make applesauce or apple pies or apple bread or whatever, if you're going to let them sit up here and just go to the bad, it was not a deal. You wasted that money. So I don't know where this thing, what I was trying to say here, maybe some of you understood it, but I don't understand it. still more. Oh, I think I'm trying to say, okay, I think I got it. So it's not a deal if it's more than you would pay for it, even if it's less than it was before. So let's say at BJ's, what can I pick at BJ's? Okay, coffee. We'll say coffee pods, which I got a deal on because they had their coupons and that was a very good deal. But let's just say BJ's regular coffee is $25. Well, yeah, let's say it's $25 and it goes on sale for, well, I hate to use BJ's because that's where you get bargains pretty much. I don't want to use BJ's coffee because I buy my coffee. Let's say you're at Walmart and there's a shirt. Okay, let's do that. Let's say there's a shirt at Walmart and the shirt is $20. I'm going to try to do numbers I can do math on. So it's $20, regularly $30, but it's on sale for $20. That's not a deal if you're not going to pay $20 on a shirt to begin with. Is that making sense now that I've got it right in my head? Like the most I'm going to pay for a shirt is $10. And I'm not going to pay $10 at the thrift store. If I buy it new, maybe $10. But at the thrift store, I'm not going to pay more than whatever it costs at the thrift store. So let's just say $10 is the most I'm willing to pay on a shirt, period. So even if that shirt is on sale for $10 less, that's still $10 more than I intend to ever pay for a shirt. So if I buy it, I'm getting a bargain because it's on sale, but I'm not getting a deal because I'm spending $10 more than my set goal. Now, I've made sense to myself. I think that was all my things. At the bottom, I put watch it add up. That was my Starbucks thing. Watch that money add up. So start small. Do little things. Listen, let me know down below what else you do. I've asked this before and I can't remember. Share things down below because we'll get into videos where we do more specific. Okay, I save money by doing this specific thing. This is more of a general, what it means to be frugal. It means to just try to get the most value for your money. And I'll tell you this too, sometimes time is worth something. So like you're in the Dollar Tree and there is a food item that costs less at Walmart, but you're going to give $1.25 for it, and that's the only thing you need at Walmart. It's worth that extra. Let's say it's $1 at Walmart. It's worth that extra quarter to not have to bother with parking and walking and hunting it and waiting on the self-checkout and getting back to your car and going through the traffic in the parking lot for a quarter. No, I'm sorry. To me, your time is worth something. So don't think that if you don't buy everything at its rock bottom price that you're not being frugal. Because frugal, to me, is not black and white. I think frugal is a gray area. Frugal is different for everybody. Your frugal and my frugal are not going to be the same thing. But my frugal takes into account some conveniences because I still have to enjoy life. I'm not going frugal to the point of I just want to lay down and cry every day because I'm just frugal out. You know what I mean? Like, I have some convenience foods at home that I'm going to keep. And when I use them, I will buy more because sometimes my plans get mixed up or messed up, or I fall asleep, I forget to thaw something out. There's all kind of things that happen, and I need something quick. And a convenience food at home is still cheaper than eating out. Period. Convenience from the store is still cheaper than eating out. God, the cost of eating out just for me and David is outrageous. So, yeah. You do what frugal looks like for you, and I'll do what frugal looks like for me. And we will do later some tips and tricks and hacks, whatever you want to call them, about different ways to save money. But this was just a kind of generic one, give you a little bit of idea. And it's not exhaustive. I could research and find all kind of other things that frugal means, but this is what I came up with. So anyway, well, that is all the time I have for today, I reckon. And you will see a grocery mini planning grocery haul tomorrow. So I'll see you then.